I think there's a lot of, mutual funds do get a lot of institutions, because it's so transparent and the data is so out there, they get a lot of criticism easily that यार आप index को तो beat कर नहीं रहे हो, तो आपकी ज़रूरत क्या है, what is the reason to pay you such a large expense ratio. But it's very, people need to look inwards as investors themselves, that what is the return of their direct equity portfolio. That comparison does not exist. So it's very easy to attack institutions and say that, look, you're not able to perform your job.
I think transparency must be there, but transparency demands maturity.
Correct.
Right? Because अर्थ का, I was telling somebody, अर्थ को अनर्थ करना होता है, अर्थ का अनर्थ नहीं करना होता है. Right? In the first unearth is unearth. Correct? So transparency on its own is very, very important, but context and perspective is extremely, extremely important. See, ultimately there's no debate that over a period of time, over any reasonable time frame, funds have to outperform the benchmark. There's no debate. But what happens is that a lot of our thinking out here is influenced by what happened in US.
Right.
And why there is no alpha in the US is way, way, way different from why we have, say, inconsistent alpha, or we didn't have alpha for a couple of years. Correct? They are very, very different things. I can just give you a couple of examples. In the US, in last 25 years, the market cap has gone up 3x. Okay, so thought experiment. The fact is that market cap from 1995 till 2000, now say it's 43 trillion. In 1995, their market cap was 13 trillion. So let me ask you that or maybe anybody, that in 27 years, if market cap went from 13 trillion to 43 trillion, take a wild guess, what should happen to the number of listed companies? What will happen to the number of listed companies?
Not increase that much.
It's not. In fact, I think India has more listed companies in the US, if I'm not wrong.
Yeah, तो US में number of listed companies में क्या हुआ होगा? आपको क्या लगता है?
Maybe 50% up?
It's become half.
It's become
half. Wow.
Exactly. I actually read about this. Wow. Yeah, the number has become.
So in the US, in this same time frame, बहुत बड़ा amount नहीं है, but in the same time frame, the corpus of, say, buyout funds, for instance, has gone from practically 100 odd billion to 2 trillion. And the biggest trend in the listed equity space in the US in last 15-20 years, one big trend has been that the number of micro cap and small cap companies are declining. And large caps have become mega caps.
Yeah.
Correct. So now just think of it logically. If you are a manager for public equities, what will happen to your investment universe in last 25-26 years? Your investment universe has shrunk.
Correct.
And everything that is available to you is either mid cap, large cap, or mega cap.
Correct. Yeah. There's no
because
scope
the other
create,
part is declining.
Yeah.
Second thing, everybody will tell you that US is institutionalized. But what people don't tell you is that while US is institutionalized, institutions put 66 to 70% of their money in alternate products. So look at it this way. Why do you think the public market has shrunk? The operating space in public market has shrunk because money has moved to alternates.
Right.
So it's all going into buyout funds and crossover funds and private equity and growth funds and those kinds of things. Correct? So in the US, what has happened is alpha has moved to private market. If somebody tells you there's no alpha, it's partly true, partly incorrect, because the alpha moved to the private market.
Correct. That's why I think wealth managers are over there, also the large one like Julius Baer and the likes. They're more interested in selling these private market products. Those are wo hi chalte hain. Stuff like ETFs, mutual fund, everybody's doing on their own.
So I'll give you a very exaggerated example. Let us say I tell you that there is a soft drink like, say, Coca-Cola, Thumbs Up, Fanta, whatever. So let us say for many, many years I have been offering Coca-Cola to you. Example. One fine day I come and tell you, sir, ये Coca-Cola आपके लिए अच्छा नहीं है. आप केवल सोडा पियो.
Right.
And then I go to Sayyam and tell him, सर आपको ये Coca-Cola कैन खरीदने क्या जरूरत है? मैं आपको कॉन्सेंट्रेट देता हूँ ना. आप कॉन्सेंट्रेट लो, फिर करो जो करना है. So what happens is, if you keep telling people there is no alpha, no alpha, it's true. But what has happened is that the retail investor is buying passives.
Correct.
And the institutions and the examples you gave, they are buying the so-called products which have alpha. You can always say that, but private equity funds are inconsistent. वो बात सही है. But the reality is that there may be some good private equity and good crossover and good buyout, and some may be unsuccessful. The fact is that when Uber gets listed at $75 billion market cap, where did the alpha go?
The private market.
It went in the private market.
Correct, yeah.
So that's the point. In India, private equity cult is maybe 15-20 years old. And compared to public market, it's very tiny.
Yeah.
And in India, the number of listed, US में अगर किसी कंपनी का IPO आएगा तो आप मेरे को बताओ किसका IPO आएगा अभी?
Like new age companies like Rivian and all these
some tech
or SPACs.
इंडिया में जूता बनाने वाला अभी लिस्ट हो रहा है.
Correct.
करेक्ट.
सेव भुजिया और जूता बनाने वाले का लिस्टिंग अभी हो रहा है.
हाँ,
तो कैसे आप कंपेयर कर सकते हैं?
Right.
So in India, one of the reasons why we didn't have alpha was because for the first time in 75 years, we went through -7. See, if you take the series, first we had 5%, 4%, 1920 we had 3.5% GDP growth, 3.7%, then we went negative. It's simple. Active managers are trying to buy businesses which will grow earnings and cash flows better than the broader market. If your economic performance shrinks dramatically,
Correct.
corporate performance will shrink and index performance will become very, very narrow.
Correct.
So for a brief period, active managers really struggled.
Yeah.
I think alpha, right? Alpha as a decision maker in an investment journey comes much later before selecting the product. Now, if you look at products in India, let's say mutual fund, right? Mutual fund by far, hands down, is the best product for a retail investor in India. They cannot invest in a PMS, forget AIFs or anything of that sort, correct? सो अल्फा जैसे अगर फंड मैनेजर बेंचमार्क को बीट कर रहा है तो वो 2%, 3% बात कर रहा है नहीं कर रहा है वो बात की क्वेश्चन है.
Correct.
आपके पास पहले ऑप्शंस देखो, राइट? नाउ व्हाट हैज हैपेंड इन द लास्ट 3-4 years, राइट? व्हेन यू आस्क्ड अबाउट म्यूचुअल फंड्स बीइंग रिडिक्यूल्ड, म्यूचुअल फंड हमेशा सही नहीं है और व्हाटएवर इज हैपनिंग is because of the fact that we are trying to adopt the West too soon.
Yeah.
We are not there 15 years down the line where cryptos and all of that is there and you can get double your money in like 3 months, 6 months kind of a thing. Right now we are in a space where you kind of grow your money as a country itself.
Yeah, exactly. मतलब 3-4% लोग ही तो अब तक म्यूचुअल फंड में पैसा डाल रहे हैं. जो नहीं डाल रहे हैं उसका पैसा कहाँ जा रहा है और उनका क्या एक्सपीरियंस है. सो जो बाहर है वो सोच रहा है बस तुम अल्फा डिबेट कर रहे हो, मेरा तो पैसा बैंक में पड़ा है.
Exactly. That
Exactly.
alpha is a decision maker which comes much
I
later.
agree. Yeah,
right?
maybe
So
we are
the
going
product-
down a rabbit hole actually.
Even now generally अगर आपको HNI की बैलेंस शीट देखो, if there were 10 crores, उसमें से 8-9 crore तो अभी भी physical assets, it's still in real estate and gold.
Yeah.
So that 50 lakhs that they have in equity or mutual funds, they're completely focused on that and asking where's the alpha.
Yeah.
But your alpha, that's not the question. First you change your asset allocation, that's where you add value and then you talk about these things. So that is maybe the like Virat said, 10th, 11th, 12th question in your journey of investing. That is not a question, but because unfortunately because of social media and
Transparency.
yeah, there's it's just being out there so much.
Yeah, you mentioned right, $2,500 per capita income. You do not have any other product. Forget alpha. What will you do with that, right?
Correct.
And you end up putting most of that money in real estate or something. Then you're gone for the next 10-12 years. So in fact, so Siddhant and I, right, all of us at Blue Fort, we work with a lot of young professionals as well. Just in the, let's say 28 to 40 kind of a thing that way. Now, increasingly we are seeing individuals still, right, forget 50-year-olds, 60-year-olds, people wanting to invest in real estate surely and not for consumption but to just get that rental yield and appreciation. So we think that there is awareness because we are from the industry. We think that there is awareness that people are more aware now. Real estate is nahi, penetration mutual fund mein aayega. But I think it's way far down the line. For 5 years, 7 years, this mentality is still there. I mean, it will remain about real estate, things like that.